So the way my book is organized is I say you need to know yourself. And if I
Excellent.
don't know if you noticed this in the book, but it's one of the longer chapters. It's probably the longest chapter in the book. And that's on purpose because this is the hardest person you will ever have to lead. We think it's everybody else, right?
Yeah.
But it's
Yeah.
actually ourselves. And if we can manage our mindset,
Yeah.
there's no situation or individual that can be thrown at us that we can't handle. So it's know yourself, know other people, know your environment, integrate all of that understanding to build a personal brand and a communication style that allows you to have maximum impact. So that is the framework for the book. And then kind of layered on top of that, I interviewed, 30 Black leaders kind of globally, people I know from America, people who've lived in Europe, people who are African, been educated in America, all kinds of Black people, right? All kinds of industries, tech, consulting, financial services, private equity, healthcare, beauty. I've interviewed a whole bunch of people from a whole bunch of different industries. And so their quotes are also sprinkled through the book. So it's not just what I think, but it's also what they think as well. So I wanted to give the message like, guys, this is not a South Africa specific book.
Issue.
This is a book. This is a global book for Black people all over. So that's really the framework of the book. So for those of you that are not familiar with the growth mindset versus a fixed mindset, this comes from a book called Mindset by a professor at Stanford called Carol Dweck, Dweck. Yeah. And her premise in the book is that you either have a growth mindset or a fixed mindset, or you can have some sort of mix. I don't think anybody has 100% of either one, right? I think we kind of straddle the fence or we lean one side or the other depending on the context. But the idea is that people with a growth mindset are focused on development, progress, process. They see feedback as an input to that process. Yeah. They're not afraid to put themselves in uncomfortable situations because they're not focused on the outcome. They're focused on the process and the progress. People who have a fixed mindset are much more focused on outcomes. They oftentimes don't want to put themselves in new situations because they're worried that it might compromise that label of being smart.
Yeah.
They're much more focused on output. So you're focused on the grade, the performance rating, what review did you get off the project, right? As opposed to what did I learn? How did I grow? How did I develop? And so I think looking at situations from a growth perspective helps you, not be so focused on the output and not, put all of your eggs and kind of all of the value in the output. It's like, I'm better. If you have a growth mindset, it's more about, I was better than I was yesterday.